Hello and good day, welcome to our YouTube channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be Book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2. Let's get started now. The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2 is a continuation of Paul's letter to the church in Corinth, where he addresses the issue of discipline and forgiveness. This chapter provides valuable teachings on the importance of forgiveness, restoration, and love in the Christian community. In the opening verses, Paul discusses his previous letter to the Corinthians, in which he urged them to discipline a member of their congregation who had sinned. It is unclear exactly what the offense was, but it seems to have caused division and conflict within the church. In this chapter, Paul addresses the aftermath of that situation and encourages the Corinthians to show forgiveness and restore the offender to the community. Paul begins by explaining that he wrote his previous letter out of love and concern for the church. He did not want sin to be tolerated or ignored, but he also did not want the discipline to be too harsh or destructive. He wanted the church to act in a way that would ultimately lead to the offender's repentance and restoration. In verse 6, Paul writes, "The punishment inflicted on him by the majority is sufficient for him. Now instead, you ought to forgive and comfort him, so that he will not be overwhelmed by excessive sorrow." Here, Paul emphasizes the importance of forgiveness and comfort, rather than continued punishment or shame. He wants the offender to feel supported and loved by the community, rather than rejected or ostracized. Paul goes on to explain that forgiveness is not just for the benefit of the offender, but also for the benefit of the community as a whole. In verse 10, he writes, "If you forgive anyone, I also forgive him. And what I have forgiven, if there was anything to forgive, I have forgiven in the sight of Christ for your sake." By forgiving and restoring the offender, the church is able to move forward in unity and love. Furthermore, Paul emphasizes that forgiveness is not just a one-time event, but an ongoing process. In verse 11, he writes, "In order that Satan might not outwit us, for we are not unaware of his schemes." Paul recognizes that Satan wants to use sin and division to undermine the church, and so he encourages the Corinthians to remain vigilant and committed to forgiveness and reconciliation. The teachings in 2 Corinthians, chapter 2 have numerous applications in our day-to-day lives. For example, when we are hurt or offended by someone, it can be easy to hold on to resentment and anger. However, Paul's message reminds us that forgiveness is essential for healing and restoration. By forgiving others, we are able to free ourselves from the burden of bitterness and move forward in love and unity. Moreover, Paul's emphasis on forgiveness as an ongoing process is important for our relationships with others. We may need to forgive someone multiple times, as old wounds and hurts resurface. However, by remaining committed to forgiveness and reconciliation, we can build stronger and more authentic relationships with others. Finally, Paul's teachings on forgiveness and restoration are a reminder of the importance of love in the Christian community. Love is not just a feeling or sentiment, but an action that involves forgiveness, compassion, and support for one another. As we strive to live out these values in our relationships with others, we can create a community that is grounded in the love of Christ. In conclusion, the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2 provides valuable teachings on the importance of forgiveness, restoration, and love in the Christian community. Paul's message emphasizes the need for forgiveness as an ongoing process and the importance of remaining committed to reconciliation and unity. May we all strive to live out these teachings in our daily lives, and may we build relationships that are grounded in the love and grace of Christ. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible chapter below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.